Louis Pasteur, the Frenchman, made yogurt. He brought up the knowledge of culturizing bacteria, lactose bacillus, in order to get it from milk that has a lot of lactose to a lactose-free product that we all...
Fantastic. What's your name? Introduce yourself.
My name is Monge Maclean, and I'm a student of agriculture at the Makerere University.
Your name is who? Your name is who?
Monge Maclean Adong.
Adong.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, there is an African who has woken up now. Thank you, Adong. Adong, thank you. Now, Adong, 1 minute. Which year was this? You check on the internet, they will tell you. I can tell her, 1862.
Yes, 1860. Thank you, Mr. President.
This is free aid from me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sit down. The problem of Africa has been sleeping. In Luo we say Nino Matek. In Rusoga we say Kulambara. Okwebaka. Okugwejegera. This has been the problem of Africa and its leaders, especially in the last 400 years. The Africans have been asleep, especially their leaders. The story of the human race starts 4.5 million years ago. That is when man evolved from lower primates to what we came to call Homo sapiens sapien, meaning an intelligent man. Now, this Homo sapiens sapien has been the agent of development and transformation. Why? Because of 3 characteristics. First of all, unlike other animals, he has got a superior brain, a brain which has got more convolutions on the cortex of the brain. Therefore, able to think and reason instead of acting by instinct like the other animals. This is the first characteristic. The second one is bipedalism. The fact that you people, you walk on 2 legs instead of walking on 4 legs or crawling on the ground like the snakes I saw there when we were coming. This frees your eyes to see far and your brain to think more. When a snake is in the grass, maneuvering around, doesn't have time to think. It is too busy negotiating through those obstacles. Now, finally, the human being has got a hand, this hand, engaro, which can hold tools and do work. It is these 3 characteristics that enabled man to understand the laws of nature. What they call science is really understanding the laws of nature, gravity, wind, light, sound, and all those natural laws, and use them to solve man's problems. And it has been a long journey. About 1.5 million years ago, man was able to invent fire. This was a big revolution, invention of fire. Because before that, man didn't understand fire and couldn't use it. But when he invented fire, it helped him solve so many problems. Then, learning the domestication of crops, knowing that instead of following crops in the bush, you can take some seeds and grow them in a controlled way. Then my tribe, the Banyankore, many years ago, learned how to domesticate cows. Those cows were wild animals. We were able to tame them and domesticate them and use them. And so we were able to domesticate other animals, goats and so on. Then the iron, the invention of iron. This was a big achievement. Now, the problem of Africa is that somehow, in the last 600 years, the Africans have been asleep. They withdrew from inventing, and they just sat and started using only what they knew. That's how a gap was created between us and especially the Europeans. And the Europeans used that gap to come and conquer us and cause problems for us here, and also for other parts of the world. It started with the invention of gunpowder. Gunpowder, those of you who have studied chemistry know what it is. Initially it was potassium nitrate mixed with some few other things, where you have these solids or powders in a confined space. Once you provoke them, they change from powder or solid to gas. And you who have studied physics, you know that the gas has the property of expansion. Gases expand. And when that one happens, that pressure is able to expel a solid, which we call a projectile, that can do bad things, can kill you. That's how the Chinese are the ones who invented gunpowder. But the ones who used it first were the Europeans. Now, by monopolizing that knowledge, they were able to come here from the time of, and the pressure for the Europeans started in 1453, when the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, what is now called Istanbul. The Turks blocked the Europeans from going to the east. There was an old route which had been discovered by a man called Marco Polo, which you fellows you should have heard about in your studies, which was a trade route. That's what the Chinese are now talking about, the Silk Road, the road for bringing merchandise, silk, and spices from the east, from Asia to Europe. Now in 1453, when the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople, they blocked that. And when they blocked it, the Europeans started looking for another way to the east. And they were trying to go around the African continent, started by the Portuguese, who got about Sierra Leone in about 1470 something, got to where Angola is now in 1482, a Portuguese man called Diego Cama. Then 1487, Bartholomew Diaz, another Portuguese, reached the Cape of Good Hope. That's why he called it the Cape of Good Hope, that there was now hope to go around Africa. Then 1498, Vasco da Gama goes around the Cape of Good Hope and goes to the east and starts coming here. Now, this is where I blame our ancestors. Okay, maybe you were asleep, you didn't know, because you had your own way of life. But when these new people came, the Portuguese initially, coming with gun, they already had gunpowder, which they were using in inefficient rifles, not very efficient actually. Those rifles were not much better than spears, because they were still using what they call muzzle loaders. But you wonder why our ancestors, who got in touch with those pharaohs, didn't take interest to say, what is this gunpowder? Let's make it, let's make it. So there you have the problem for the African people, especially their leaders, the so-called kings and all these clowns who are around here. Because when the Europeans got to Japan, far away from us, the Japanese also were still asleep, still using swords and so on. But the Japanese, these people have come with the new technology, we must learn it. The Portuguese quickly learned, the Japanese quickly learned the technology which the Europeans had come with, and they were able to compete with them. But your pharaohs here, kings and witch doctors and all these clowns, were here just making a fool of themselves, making you kneel down and go on the ground. So they are the ones who caused us a problem of not waking up our people. Europe itself was not very far advanced. I was with a group here a few days ago. We were here with some other people here, and I was telling them about a man called Louis Pasteur or something like that, a Frenchman. Who knows what Louis Pasteur did? Do you know? Who knows? Somebody who knows, come to the microphone and educate us. The girl who is seated there, the girl who put up her hand, the girl. Come to the microphone. Remove your mask and talk properly.
Louis Pasteur, the Frenchman, made yogurt. He brought up the knowledge of culturizing bacteria, lactose bacillus, in order to get it from milk that has a lot of lactose to a lactose-free product.
Fantastic. What's your name? Introduce yourself.
My name is Monge Maclean, and I'm a student of agriculture at the Makerere University.
Your name is who? Your name is who?
Monge Maclean Adong.
Adong.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, there is an African who has woken up now. Thank you, Adong. Adong, thank you. Now, Adong, 1 minute. Which year was this? You check on the internet, they will tell you. I can tell her, 1862.
Yes, 1860. Thank you, Mr. President.
This is free aid from me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sit down. Now, now you can imagine that until 1862, the whole world did not know that there was, apart from we and the other animals, which you can see with your eyes, that there were other organisms which we cannot see with our eyes. The microscopic organisms. This is what Louis Pasteur discovered in 1862 when he discovered the bacteria which the Banyankwere were using for millennia. The one of converting fresh milk, amashunnu. The Europeans don't even have the words. The Europeans, they say fresh milk. What is that now? Why don't you have a better word? But the Banyankwere, they call fresh milk amashunnu. Then you put enkamyo. Enkamyo is what Adongo is called in culture. Enkamyo is a small portion of the Europeans don't have the word, they call it sour milk. No, it's not sour. It is amakamo from milk which is already yogurt, a small quantity at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You put it in the fresh milk. It is called okubuganza. And by 5 a.m. the next day, the fresh milk would have become amakamo. Amakamo, I think you call it yogurt or what. So, this is the first time the human being, any human being in the world knows that there is the world of organisms we see and the world of the organisms we don't see with our eyes. And that's why killing the microbes now in products is called pasteurization. Pasteurization. This is from that man, Louis Pasteur. But you can see this is 150 years ago when the whole world, other parts of the world woke up to know that when I'm standing here, there are other organisms around me which I don't see, but which are there. Now, the Europeans, using that, in addition to gunpowder, they quickly added other inventions. And for us here, we were here with our kings, with our witch doctors, also the priests came and prayed for us to remain like that. And then when we die, quickly, die early, because of the other microbes which we don't see. The priest comes and says, oh, God gives and takes away. God is the one who has called you, but why does God call Africans only? Is he only for African company or what? Why do the Africans die early? Because you fellows here, before the NRM came, you were dying at the age of 43. That's why my soldiers started calling me Musei. Even when I was 30, they thought I was too old, I should have died. This is the culture of stagnation that has been our problem. The not knowing what Louis Pasteur saw 1862, that and what other people, we had seen it, because you remember, like the iron, we discovered the iron ourselves. We didn't get it from anybody else, but we got stuck. So therefore, I'm very happy when I and the education system, also the colonial education system was part of the problem. And I was very happy to see the lecturers from Makerere who were there exhibiting what they were exhibiting, to make disinfectants. And I was asking them, how do you do it? They say we mix sodium something, and we make disinfectants. Yes, that's what it is. This is not witchcraft. This is science. So therefore, when I was walking through your exhibitions, I was really very happy. I'm glad you have now woken up, and you are not going to be like your ancestors who were asleep. And that's what the NRM has been trying to do right from the time of the Bush. That's what to wake you up, to wake our people up, to say, you people, you can do it. Now, you see the mistakes in the world. When you hear all these wars going on, they are caused by this ignorance of some people think that if they happen to have technology, to know more about technology today, that they are therefore entitled to go and enslave other people. This was the mistake of the Europeans. Why did the Europeans think they could colonize Africa? Why? Did they have clever people among them, or what? But the miscalculation was, we have got gunpowder, we can go and, those people have spears, we can go and conquer them and control them. Wapi, they didn't know that everybody can wake up and also copy or even exceed what you are doing yourself. So I'm glad you are waking up. I'm here among the people who muzukse oba mukyali mutulo muzukse kale katonda yebazibwe. Now that you have woken up, the only other issue is to link the waking up about science. And of course, we are having the issue of the social sciences. What is the role of the social sciences? The role of the social sciences help to understand society. How society is organized and why. The role of natural science helps us to understand yourself first of all, to know who you are, what makes you, what makes us, and then our environment, our natural environment, what makes our natural environment, and how can we use it to have a better quality of life. Now, the moment you wake up about the two, understanding yourself and your surroundings, your natural surroundings, and understanding society, which is social science, history, sociology, languages, and all that, then you now need to focus on economics. Economics. What determines economics? Because what you do should be profitable in order to be sustainable. And there, you should start with the human needs. What does the human being need? The human being needs food, number one. And I'm very happy, I'm a very reliable supporter of you people, because I produce milk for you and beef for you. So I'm a very proud man. Said I am contributing to the basic needs of these people. That's why you are not importing milk from anywhere. You're not importing beef. I am one of the contributors. Then other people, I also grow bananas for you. And I'm very happy with that.